Awkward start. Let me just look at you guys.
I'm just sitting back here looking at this smirk on Jimbo's face, and that fires me up. I love it.
I love
Subscribe,
that face.
tweet.
Calling people out. Let's do it.
Is.
Just be the villain.
See, this is like how I like to start the show. Then I do the formal introduction. It is TexAgs Rewind, and it is presented to you by T-Mobile. And they want to remind you to visit T-Mobile.com/acrossamerica to learn more how you can get value and coverage through T-Mobile. And guys, today was about looking back. The fan show guys are here, by the way. Got Kelly and Roy. Today was about thumbs up. Yep, giggle. Today was about yesterday. Jimbo's just being incredible in that press conference. And oh, by the way, #1 recruiting class. And I want to say again, but it wasn't again. It was like they dominated the first one and they dominated the news cycle once again.
It's the ultimate putting the stamp on it.
It was awesome.
He finished.
He did finish. So on the show, I'm going to finish this segment because it's got a lot of awkward silences going on here. Jimbo Fisher fires back, so we fired with him. Aggie Hoops great. Josh Carter joined the show. Appreciate him talking a little hoops with us. Billy Liucci reflecting on that 22 class, and it was a really nice one. It's going to be great. And Logan Lee talking some A&M hoops. All that and more on TexAgs Rewind, presented by
Gerard Construction.
No, that's the fan show. This is T-Mobile.
T-Mobile.
I wasn't actually
the official
paying
carrier of Major League Baseball.
Thank you. But this is
I wasn't actually paying attention.
Control-Alt-Delete the entire segment. Go. All right. Let's class up the joint and listen to our good friend. Notice I didn't say buddy. Our good friend Jimbo Fisher here yesterday on his epic rant.
Do you kind of consider it a slap in the face or whatever when there's these thoughts out there that it's because a lot of money is being spent and just your thoughts?
Here's what I'm going to say, and this is point blank. This is point blank because here's my problem. There is no $30 million fund. There is no $5 million. There is no $10 million. This is garbage, okay? And it pisses me off that people. And here it comes from a site called Bro Bible by a guy named Slice Bread. Then everybody runs with it. So it's written on the internet, it's gospel. How irresponsible is that? I'm going to tell you, there's some very reputable writers in college football and sports that wrote it and have said it and have done things. That's unbelievable to me. When I first heard it, I laughed. I said, oh, yeah, what a clown. I mean, I didn't even think anything of it because I don't have social media. And they kept building it, and lately I've heard more about it. To me, it's insulting to the players that we recruited that's why they would come here. You ever been to a game here? You ever come to school here and see the education? You ever talk about the 12th man, the Aggie Network when you're done? There ain't a better university in this country. And it's insulting to what you say. And all these, and we got writers who have said it and done it off sliced bread. A guy named Slice who made it up. Love to see who sliced bread is and put it out there with sliced bread. Let me find out where it comes from. And then to have coaches in our league and across this league to say it, clown acts, all right? Irresponsible as hell. Multiple coaches in our league. And the guy's griping about NIL, griping about transfer portal, using it the most and bragging about it the most. That's the ironic part. You want character? I'll take it with any of y'all. It's a joke. It does piss me off. The other thing, when you look at vice president, I get another one. Vice president of Notre Dame. Supposed to be a reputable university, right? That's a heck of a person leading a reputable university. I'd be real proud if I hired that guy. Read it off sliced bread. But they say it because it's written on the internet. We worry about the kids and social media and internet. How about grown-ups? How about the guys that are supposed to be setting an example? How about writers who are supposed to be writing the right thing? How about coaches who are supposed to be doing the right thing? And I'll tell you what, I know how some of those guys recruit too. Go dig into that. I know the history, I know the tradition, I know things. Trust me, you don't want to go down that avenue. It's ridiculous. And it's irresponsible, and it's unbelievable. I ain't just talking about one. Multiple people got NIL issues. It's funny, when Nick Saban said his quarterback got an $800,000 deal, it was wonderful. Now it ain't wonderful no more, huh? But ours, we ain't got that. Ours are on record what comes up. We ain't doing all them big deals. There ain't none on our place that we know of. That's funny when you do it. It's hypocrite. And then we gripe about the transfer portal, then you guys take more than everybody. What's about that? And what goes on? The hypocrisy is a joke. It's an absolute joke, and it's insulting to our staff, how hard we worked, to how we do things, and it's insulting to Texas A&M because there ain't a better place to go to school and play ball. If you don't like it, we're coming on. Get used to it. All right? We ain't going nowhere. It's an absolute joke that people put the hard work in and do it. It's irresponsible, but it's funny when they get it, it's all okay. Ball games are changing, man. And it ain't because of NIL. and what goes on. It's pretty irresponsible of all of them. They're clowns.
What's that jersey in the background? Let's just get straight to the point. What are you showing? What are you showing off back there?
I was gonna move, so you didn't say anything.
No, what are you showing off back there?
No, I'm not. I didn't want to show off all the jerseys, so I tried to just show one. This is just a jersey from when I played in Turkey.
Hey, Josh, when you were, I guess, in Milwaukee a couple of weeks back, you posted a bunch of pictures. Just talk a little bit about your time there, hanging out with Chris, going on stage for a country concert, and just bonding with your old teammate.
It was good. We had a good time. That was my second time to go out there and see him. Usually I'm overseas his whole season, so whenever I'm in town, I try to make a point to go watch some of the guys. But it was a good time. We got to hang out a little bit. I also went when they played Chicago, so I got to talk to Caruso a little bit. And I was supposed to see him after, but that's the game he got injured, so he had to go straight to get an MRI or X-rays and do all that. So that was unfortunate, but it was a good time other than that.
How did you feel at a country concert, JC? That's not your style.
I felt at home, It was only my second concert ever in my life, and it was a cool experience to get to go on stage though. That was cool, and the Kane Brown guy was pretty nice though.
That Kane Brown guy.
If you played a song of his right now, I wouldn't know what it is. I know he's very famous, but I couldn't tell you a song.
That Kane Brown
I didn't
guy,
know who he was
cool.
until I went to his concert.
Hey, Josh, when you're playing overseas, how often do you bump into Aggies, right? Like that played at different times here at A&M or even some old teammates?
It happens, I would say at least once a year at least. I played with Elston one season, so I ran into one every single day at practice. I ran into Tony Trocha Morales, how do you say it? I ran into him this past year. We played his team in preseason. It's always nice when you see some Aggies over there. Makes you remember the times and feel like you're back at home a little bit.
How many places have you played at, and what's been your favorite stop?
Oh, I think I lost you. Oh, there you go. I played in, I think, 8 different countries. My favorite country overall is probably Israel. Good food, good people. The way of living is pretty relaxed, so I really enjoyed it out there.
Where should we begin? Because the Jimbo rant is the funnest part, or the most fun, I should say, but there's a lot to be excited about just what they were able to do again.
Yeah, I think I think yesterday, look, they were already going to land the number 1 class, and we've talked that, into submission, and I think, and we're going to keep talking about it. So in a short stretch here with you right now, I would say, let's focus on what they finished out on defense. I mean, and I tweeted the best defensive class of all time at A&M. Ray Mickens quote tweeted it, and here's the thing I love about Ray. I'm going to say this: I've seen a lot of A&M former players whose kids have gone elsewhere to play, and things have gone south or sideways because of that on either side on the relationship. And it makes you appreciate a guy like Ray so much more. His son's at Clemson, doing good things. Could have gone to A&M. It was a good recruitment. Does that make sense? Like, because of the way Ray and RJ handled it, it was always a good recruitment, and there was no hard feelings, and he never detached from A&M like I've seen some parents do. Like, he's a Clemson fan, he's a fan of his son, he's a fan of Texas A&M, obviously, and I've always loved and appreciated that about Ray Mickens. It's also made me, continue to root for his son's success in that secondary. But when he says something like that, and he's fired up about the defensive class, that carries weight with me. And part of that is because they're from my era, and those are guys I consider friends. And when Reggie Brown says something, it's like, okay, now these guys, see, they're real wrecking crew. And I know it goes back a lot further than my era, but that's real wrecking crew. And they're not sitting there with this, crap of, let's hold back the nickname, and they've got to, no, they understand. They want it back. Those guys, more than anybody, want to see games like Auburn, what they did this year. They want to see A&M with these red zone stops like they got against Alabama. And they want to see the Aggies lead the league in defense and actually get better. So when this recruiting class gets guys like that fired up, you know what we're talking about then. And I think that adding Shamar Stewart and Jacoby Matthews, it got lost a little bit in the shuffle yesterday that, hey, Texas A&M added a top 10 player in the entire country yesterday, which would have been like the number 4 ranked recruit they've ever signed in a decade of joining the SEC overall, maybe 3. And then they also went and added a safety that was, before they start doing the mystery drop, was ranked in the top 25 in the country, and he's still like a top 50 or 60 player nationally, like high 4-star. Everyone in the country wanted. And by the way, you beat LSU, your division rival, for a coveted in-state recruit. Now, I know they returned the favor later in the day, and that's fine. You'd have wanted to get Harold too, but you beat LSU for a kid from Ponchatoula, Louisiana, and had everyone in that state crying foul because of it, because they got their ass whipped. And that's a big, big get. I mean, go watch the tape. We didn't get to talk about him yesterday, but Jacoby Matthews is a game changer back there. And if you look at that, I've said it before, the secondary class and the D-line class are the best I've ever seen A&M sign, and it ain't even close. Denver Harris, Smoke Bowie, Jacoby Matthews, Bryce freaking Anderson, Bobby Taylor, who is such a key part of this class, Jared Kerr, and then a signing day steal to grab MGK. You look at some of the rankings, some of the teams you had to beat to get those guys, the length of time you battled out in those recruitments, meaning AKA how bad you wanted them. And then the D-line, to cap it off with Shamar Stewart, and you essentially signed 3 of the 4 top D linemen in the country. You've got another guy that's here now already turning heads that you beat Bama for in Anthony Lucas. You've got Malik Silla, who I think his stock was just affected because all the kid did was commit, never waver, and just kept his mouth shut and went about his business playing his senior year at Katy. And so he kind of got, I think, lost in the shuffle a little bit, but another rare talent. I'll go back and pull footage of him racing around the edge during the pandemic workouts against Kelvin Banks, where he's beyond impressive. So, unbelievable class, on the defensive side of the ball. It is a national championship class, and when you combine it, Dave, with a group last year that includes Shamar Turner, Tumishe Bellier, and Tyreek Chappelle just for starters, man, you're talking about, like I said, this is national championship type stuff. These are the type players that you can put a defense on the field like the one we saw at Georgia this past season that won a natty. The talent is that good.
Good teams make runs. Bad teams make runs too, Logan.
Yeah, I mean, and it all goes to what Coach Gillespie used to say in practice and in pre-games. Let's find the other team's breaking point. At some point in the game, there's going to be a breaking point. It may be 39 minutes and 30 seconds, but that breaking point, you can beat them in the last 30 seconds. We want to outlast the other team. Well, that's what these teams are doing to A&M. A&M's getting to a particular spot in the game where either their intensity runs out, their mental capacity to stay focused runs out, the scoring ability, the defensive rotation. At some point, A&M is hitting a wall, and because they are playing better teams, they are playing top 25 teams. Those top 25 teams, their breaking point is longer into the game than what A&M's is, and that's why you're seeing at the end of games where the Aggies just aren't able to finish.
And the other side, too, is if they don't come out and play well in that first half and they make that run in the second half, that expends a lot of energy, both mentally and physically. And then all of a sudden you get even and you might take a deep breath. Well, then all of a sudden the other team regroups and they just put you in the rearview mirror again.
All right, so one of the things that I noticed, I was watching the game with my buddy Kelly, and it was like every offensive possession was one pass shoot. right? There's not a lot of passing going on, Logan.
That has been a struggle. I thought Tennessee did a great job with the ball movement. I mean, but you think about it, they basically have 3 point guards on the floor. Kennedy Chandler is a top 10 finalist for the Bob Cousy Award. Vescovi is a junior who has been through the battles with Rick Barn and that Tennessee team. And then what's the 5'9" kid that just ran circles around our guys for a little while. He's another freshman point guard that they just moved the ball. The ball didn't stick in their hands. It was pass, catch, shot. With A&M, it's pass, catch. We're going to dribble a little, take it up to half court, try to come off a ball screen, see what we have. Okay, I don't have anything, so I'm going to kick it to my teammate. My teammate's then going to try to use a ball screen. There's no flow to A&M's offense right now. It's sticking in their hands, and there's too much dribbling going on.
All right, that's going to do it for an awesome TexAgs Rewind here where everybody's laughing, presented by T-Mobile. Top 10 that you've been a part of. So I'm not going to let Kelly.
I've only been a part of 9. So
That's a low bar.
I'm not going to let Kelly do this part. Why don't
Please
you
don't.
tell Kelly what we're supposed to do after this video?
You like, you subscribe, you turn on your notifications, make sure you share it with your friends.
Rate and review?
And rate, review, comment. Absolutely. What's the word of the day? What's the word of the day?
Let's think about it. George Carlin.
I love it. Sliced bread.
Sliced bread.
Sliced bread. But just put George Carlin.
George Carlin.
Just put George Carlin. And if you know what that means, write why we think of George Carlin and sliced bread. If you know it, post a clip.
And remember, this is a family show.
Yeah.
Please.
It is TexAgs Rewind.
My kids are watching. They're home from school.
Do they watch the YouTube?
Probably.
Yeah, I thought you don't watch YouTube.
I don't. That doesn't mean they don't.
Yeah.
Hello.
Off the rails.
Can we go? Bye.
Gig 'em.